What I'm about to share with you is not magic, it's math. And this math is responsible for adding high 6 and 7 figures in recurring fee-based revenue to my financial services clients in 12 to 18 months, starting with modest $20,000 budgets. Here's the thing, when I show you the math and the system, you will not be able to unsee it, and you will understand how I turn modest budgets into fortunes for my clients. This isn't alchemy, it's simple third grade math. And in a moment, I'll show you the client acquisition quadrants that maps how fast you can grow your firm using various methods. It's okay to be a skeptic, but before you go roasting me on the socials, people in the wealth management industry laughed when I showed this to them over 7 years ago. But skeptics become believers when they see client results like ours. Now let me show you how this is not only possible, but inevitable. So if you're a financial advisor, fund manager, wealth manager, or firm leader, this is unlike anything else in the market, because no other method accounts for the two biggest challenges when it comes to growing your business, which I will share with you in a moment. Now, fail to address both of these challenges in your client acquisition systems, and you will grow at a fraction compared to what you can do.
So, it's grade school t-ball versus the New York Yankees.
Look, this has nothing to do with creating lots of content, becoming a YouTube or TikToker, getting guaranteed appointments, partnering with CPAs, buying leads, doing seminars, posting on social media, or any of that nonsense. You see, over the last several years, I've been quietly placing virtual referrals on my clients' calendars without them lifting a finger. On average, for every $204.58 in ads our clients spend, we place $1 million prospect on one of our clients' calendars. And all they have to do is show up to the Zoom appointment with the prospect, follow our documented client acquisition script, and then make an offer if it's a good fit. Here's what you don't need to do. Plan your next seminar, spend $15,000 and hope you get some business. Conduct your next seminar, do tons of follow-ups in hopes of covering the expense. Take on new clients that you don't want to work with because really they're your only prospects. Write annuities that might not be the best for your clients because you have to cover your marketing expense. Do a bunch of free planning work to prove your value only to have the prospect disappear. Spend nights and weekends away from your family and repeat that weekly. You don't have to do any of that. So let's say that you want 20 million in new AUM per year. To get that, you would need to spend roughly $2,000 to $2,500 a month in ads. Or maybe you want 100 million in new AUM per year. You would spend roughly $15,000 to $20,000 per month in ads. So how much would you close if you had 100 million in AUM in your pipeline? Imagine just closing a fraction of it, and you have a windfall of cash flowing into your business for the next 12 to 15 years. Let's do the math. 1 million in new AUM on average equals roughly $10,000 a year in fees. So for every new client, you're going to make roughly $150,000 over the lifetime of that client. With just 20 new clients per year, that's less than 2 per month. For 5 years, you're making $1 million a year in fees, plus you can sell the book of business for 6 to 8 times the fees whenever you decide to sell the book. Can you close 20 million from a $100 million pipeline? One of my clients who's a full-time stay-at-home mom and part-time advisor does. This summer, she took her whole family to Italy for a month. Now, stay with me because in a moment, I'm going to show you how we run 24 hours a day marketing campaigns for our clients that put virtual referrals on your calendar at zero expense to your business. Now, before I show this to you, you need to understand 2 things that make this superior in every other way to growing your business or attracting assets, including regular referrals. There's 2 things, time constraints and cash constraints. Now, this is important to understand because it's the 2 biggest reasons why most advisors and firms never scale. You see, for most financial professionals, your client acquisition systems, whether it be centers of influence, seminars, LinkedIn prospecting, or even content marketing, all suffer from something that creates a time constraint in your client acquisition process. For example, to run a seminar, you have to plan it, prep for it, market it, present it, follow up on the booked appointments, conduct those appointments, do more follow-up, conduct more appointments, do free work, meet again if they don't take your planning work, or perhaps they might just ghost you somewhere in that process. Move money, hopefully. Get paid, maybe. Repeat that as many times as you want. I know guys that do this 2 to 4 times a month and they hate it. They miss their families, the money is good, but the shackles of success are not. Versus my virtual referral system. Conduct the pre-qualified appointment we place on your calendar and make an offer if it's a good fit. Get paid. It happens immediately. Move money. Get paid again. Repeat as many times as you would like per week or per month. The only time constraint here is how many appointments you want to take per day and how many clients you want to take or onboard per month. You see, by removing most of the time constraints, you can scale exponentially faster than anyone else. It's simple math. So let me show you how this maps out compared to other things you can do to grow your firm. I've modeled this in something we created from our extensive consulting work with financial professionals and firms, and we call it the client acquisition quadrants, where we have the x-axis representing time inputs to generate a new client, and the y-axis representing how much we can scale those systems predictably. In the first quadrant, we have low time inputs to get a client and low scale, meaning that growth can't be scaled because of a constraint with the method. This is where referrals fall. For a growth-focused firm or advisor, this can't be your only method if you want consistent growth. And here's why. You can't control what people do or who they refer. Now, from the 800 plus advisors and firms we've worked with, the average number of referrals most advisors get per year is 3 to 5. In the next quadrant, time inputs are high and scale is low. This is where centers of influence and buying leads fit. These offer a bit more scale than referrals, but not much. Both require significant time inputs to achieve any level of success. With COIs, you are still relying on people to funnel opportunities to you, and you need to build these relationships. Buying leads requires a lot of consistent follow-up, which creates a time constraint to growth. So the next quadrant, we have what I call the influencer quadrant. Time inputs are high and scale is high. So there's a lot more growth potential here, but the limiting factor is time. It takes a lot of time to host seminars or to become an influencer on social media. They do benefit from having more predictability and scale, but there's a ceiling on growth because they are still constrained by time. SEO also fits into this quadrant because it often takes 3 to 6 months of time inputs before any growth happens. But once it does, it can scale to a reasonable and predictable level. In the final quadrant, time inputs are low and scale is high. This is where virtual referrals fit. These are not constrained by time because they don't require any time inputs from you. They are unlike buying leads too, because they don't require follow-up or chasing to get an appointment. Further, unlike regular referrals, they scale to whatever you would like predictably. Now in finance, there's this idea that most of you should be familiar with. It's called asymmetric returns. You see, in most investments, the best you can hope for is the opportunity to make as much as you might lose. Asymmetric returns refers to a situation where you actually stand to gain a lot more than you can possibly lose. In other words, the risk-reward profile is skewed in your favor. And that's where our virtual referral system shines. It creates an asymmetric environment where the time and money you put in can bring you back much more in return, making your investment of time and money work smarter, not harder for you. Now let's talk about the other constraints in most advisors and firms' businesses. It's the money constraint. This constraint holds true even if you have a $100 million a year budget, because the marketing spend becomes your ceiling for growth. Let me explain. Let's say that you spend $20,000 a month on marketing and you run 2 seminars per month with that budget. Because you have a time constraint, you can't really spend more because you are limited by time. But if you remove time from the equation, you still have a constraint because in order to do more marketing and generate more volume, you need to clear your marketing expense out fast. And if you can't, then you have to live with a fixed marketing budget until your cash flow increases from new client revenue. And this is why some advisors sell annuities. I'm not saying advisors are guilty of a conflict of interest, but some are. You might even know some of them. Now, many of our clients are RIAs, fee-only advisors, wealth managers, with a fee-based model around managing client assets like 1 to 1.5% per year of managed money. This is great for recurring revenue, but not good when it comes to marketing, because even on a $1 million client, that's $10,000 a year and often paid out quarterly. So from the time you acquire a client, you might not get paid on that for like 60 to 90 days. And even then, you're only going to get like $2,500. Here's the problem. Whether you offer annuities or don't, the money spent on marketing might take 60 to 90 days before you are getting paid. For some, it might take 6 months or longer. Further, if your cost per client acquisition is higher than your quarterly fees per client, you can't scale your new client acquisition because you are cash constrained to whatever your budget is. But what if you could remove the cash constraint from your marketing budget? Well, you can. So let's do some simple third grade math so you can see how this works. Let's say you start with a $10,000 a month budget. Your first month, you're going to spend $10,000. $10,000 marketing budget at $204 per appointment equals about 49 appointments. Now, out of those appointments, you get about 30% or 14 people that take you up on your offer for financial planning or analysis. Now, instead of doing this planning for free, you're going to charge $3,000 per plan. 14 plans times $3,000 per plan or analysis is $42,000 in planning revenue. Good news, you'll also get the AUM. Now, month 2, you can double your marketing budget to $20,000 using the fees collected from planning revenue. $20,000 marketing budget divided by $204 per appointment equals 98 appointments. Now you have 29 people in plans, which is roughly $87,000 in planning revenue. Plus 70% of your planning or analysis clients from month 1 are moving money in month 2. So your recurring revenue is going to start scaling too. Month 3, you spend $50,000 or more. Month 4, you spend $80,000 or more. Month 5, you have a marketing budget that will run in the 7 figures over the course of the next 12 months, all paid for by your new clients. This is how you can add 20 million, 100 million, 200 million in AUM or much more per year, essentially for free. Because when you clear your marketing costs with each new client from your planning fee revenue, then you can scale your marketing budget month over month over month. This isn't theory. My clients have been doing this for 7 years now. And I've not only taught them the business model, but also the selling system behind it. And we run all of the marketing that drives the opportunity. Now, this is not a coaching program, and we're not an FMO or IMO. Me and my team are a group of elite marketers, consultants, sales coaches, and creative talent. And we build and run virtual referral campaigns for financial institutions, firms, fund managers, and up-and-coming wealth management professionals. You know what my clients have told me about this business model? They don't deal with tire kickers anymore, and they don't have to do follow-up. And that's because when someone pays you, you get serious and committed people working with you. Why should you do work for your prospective clients for free? No other professional does this. So this example I just shared with you assumes you have multiple advisors at your firm. Scale this model and budget down for a solo advisor or scale it up for a bigger firm. So let me share with you how the virtual referral system works. It can be broken down into 3 simple steps. Step 1 is what I like to call the advertising trifecta. In other words, having a high-performing ad campaign running on the 3 biggest social networks in the world, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, that can stop ideal clients scrolling in the tracks and get them to click because the ad was designed just for them. This brings me to step number 2, which is having a high-converting, trust-stacking video presentation that runs 24/7. A fairly short 8 to 12-minute video that people can watch where you establish credibility, handle objections, and talk about the unique model that you use as a financial professional or firm. And step 3 is getting qualified virtual referral appointments booked on your calendar. After a potential client watches your video, they get sent a form where you ask them a few questions to make sure that they're a good fit to work with. If they're not qualified, they don't get the option to go to the next step and book a call. So you don't waste your time with people who don't meet your ideal criteria. At this very moment, I have billion-dollar AUM firms booking hundreds of calls and solo advisors getting 5 to 7 qualified appointments per week using this system. Now, most of these calls and Zoom meetings are with investors and people with $1 million or more. And unlike buying leads or generic retirement appointments, these virtual referrals, they want to talk to you because your video builds credibility, authority, and trust. And I will show you some examples of our work here in a moment. But before that, I have a question for you. Would you like me and my team to come in and build this whole system for you, customized to your unique market and offer without you having to lift a finger? I'm talking about doing everything, analyzing your current business model, helping you implement a unique front-end offer for your ideal market that literally makes your marketing free, developing your marketing story and script, filming, presentation deck, ad creatives, running the ad campaign for you, split testing everything consistently, gradually scaling your ad budget, coaching you on how to use our digital sales framework so you can effortlessly close the client once they get on a call with you, hopping on one-on-one calls with you and your team every single month to discuss results and develop strategies to improve them, and much more. Now keep in mind, this is the same team of world-class experts who created the funnel you're in right now. So if you're here, you probably clicked on an ad, right? You're also watching the video I talked about a minute ago at this exact moment. So if that's not enough proof that this system works, I don't know what is. But just in case, here's some real-life examples of our clients' funnels and how they're performing. Now, I don't want to make this seem like a dream that will always work no matter what. Because even though we've worked with over 800 financial advisors, wealth managers, firm leaders, and fund managers, there are some situations where this system just won't work. The first one is if you have less than $5,000 a month to invest in marketing. In that case, my team won't have the resources required to help you achieve the results that I mentioned. So I encourage you to come back once you do fit that criteria. The second is if you don't have a good sense of the clients you want to work with. Listen, the only thing that we can't help you with is deciding who your ideal client should be. We help you with creating an offer in a way where it fits your ideal market, but who your ideal market is should be something that you have a very clear idea of. And if you don't, again, come back once you define that group of people. The third one is pretty self-explanatory. We won't help people who expect us to work miracles for them. Allow me to explain. Our best clients are good at what they do and are looking for a team to help them expand their business with a set of skills and expertise that they don't have. Now, if you don't already have a good business, we will not be a good fit for you. Assuming you meet these qualifications and you would like a line of potential clients who want to work with you, knocking at your door every single week, allowing you to predictably scale your business, click the button below and schedule a discovery call where we'll determine if we're a good fit to work together. If I were you, I wouldn't sit on this decision for too long because me and my team can realistically only handle a few of these projects per month since they require a lot of time and effort from our side to ensure that you achieve the best results possible. Not only that, but I'm currently spending hundreds of dollars on ads per day running traffic to this page, so there's a high chance that dozens of others are watching this video right now as we speak. But if it's still live, it means there is at least one more spot available this month. So before it's too late, I encourage you to click the button below so that we can have a chat. I'll see you on the winning side.